I'm shaking as I write this, like physically can't hold my phone steady. Because 20 minutes ago, my entire life, everything I thought I knew about my family, just shattered into 1,000 pieces. My name's Ethan. I'm 28, been back stateside for 3 years after 2 tours in Afghanistan. I'm home for Dad's retirement party. Big celebration, 200 guests, the whole 9 yards. Mom's been planning it for months. I was looking for Dad's old photo albums in his office. You know, those embarrassing baby pictures everyone loves at parties. That's when I knocked over a box on the top shelf. Files scattered everywhere. And that's when I saw it. An envelope. MIT. Dated April 2015. My hands went numb as I picked it up. I never applied to MIT. At least, I didn't think I had. Senior year's a blur. I applied to maybe 15 schools through some program our counselor set up. I opened it. Congratulations! Full academic scholarship, $40,000 annual stipend for living expenses. The room started spinning. I sat down hard on Dad's leather chair. There were more envelopes underneath. Stanford, Princeton, Columbia, Yale. 27 in total. All unopened. All addressed to me. All dated spring 2015. Every single one offered a full ride. I couldn't breathe. 10 years ago, my parents sat me down and told me we couldn't afford college. Dad had just lost his job. Mom was barely making ends meet. Tyler, my younger brother, still had 2 years of high school left. They said I needed to help the family. So I joined the Marines. Figured I'd serve, use the GI Bill later, do the responsible thing. Meanwhile, Tyler? He went to a private university. Business degree. Dad was so proud. My vision got blurry. I dug deeper into the box. Bank statements. A folder labeled Tyler's expenses. Credit card bills. Receipts for luxury apartments. A BMW. Something called Startup Fund. TR. My college fund. They'd spent my college fund on Tyler. I heard voices downstairs. The party was starting. I could hear Tyler's laugh. That confident, easy laugh he's always had. The golden child. I grabbed the MIT letter and walked downstairs. My legs felt like wood. Everyone was gathered in the living room, champagne glasses raised. Dad was at the center, beaming. Tyler stood next to him, ready to give a toast. Dad taught me to seize every opportunity, Tyler was saying, his voice carrying across the room. He showed me that success comes to those who, like the opportunities you stole from me. The room went dead silent. Every head turned toward me. I held up the letter. My hand was shaking so badly the paper rattled. Anyone want to explain why I found 27 full scholarship offers hidden in Dad's office, all dated 2015, all unopened? Mom's champagne glass slipped from her fingers. It shattered on the hardwood floor, but nobody moved. Dad's face drained of color. Ethan, this isn't, we can explain. You told me we couldn't afford college. My voice cracked. I didn't care. You said I needed to enlist, help the family. Meanwhile, you spent my college fund on Tyler's luxury apartment. I looked at my brother. He wouldn't meet my eyes. That's when I knew. Tyler knew. He'd known the whole time. The letter felt like it weighed 100 pounds. MIT, my dream school, full scholarship, $40,000 stipend. I could have gone for free, better than free. They would have paid me. Instead, I'd spent 4 years in a war zone, came back with shrapnel scars and nightmares, worked construction for 3 years to save up enough to, maybe, someday, afford community college, and they'd hidden 27 tickets to a different life. I dropped the letter on the floor in front of Dad. 10 years, I said quietly. You stole 10 years from me. Then I walked out of my childhood home, past 200 stunned guests, and didn't look back. What would you do if you discovered your family had stolen your future? Would you confront them publicly, or would you handle it in private? Drop your answer in the comments. I drove for 2 hours before I could even think straight. Ended up at a rest stop off I-95, hands gripping the steering wheel, trying to remember how to breathe. The Marines taught me to stay calm under pressure. I'd been shot at. I'd carried wounded buddies through enemy fire. But this broke something in me I didn't know could break. I pulled out my phone. It was exploding with messages. Mom, Dad, Tyler, aunts and uncles, even my old high school friends who'd been at the party. I ignored them all except one. My cousin Rachel. She's a lawyer in Boston. Ethan, what the hell happened? Mom's group chat is losing its mind. Rachel, I need legal advice. Like right now. I drove straight to her apartment. Showed her everything on my phone. I'd photographed every document in that box before I left. The scholarship letters, the bank statements, email printouts between Mom and Dad discussing the situation with Ethan's acceptance letters. Rachel's jaw clenched as she scrolled through the photos. Jesus Christ, Ethan. Legally they didn't break any laws. Parents can make financial decisions for their minor children. But morally? She looked up at me. This is unforgivable. There's more. I showed her the bank records. See this? College fund. Ethan Cooper. Balance in 2014, $180,000. By 2020, zero. Every withdrawal has Tyler's name attached. Tyler's luxury apartment in Boston, $3,200 a month for 4 years. His BMW, $65,000. 3 different failed business ventures, $90,000 combined. The rest went to his private university tuition, even though he could have gone to state school for a quarter of the cost. My money, every cent of it. He knew, I said. My voice sounded hollow. Tyler had to know where the money came from. Rachel poured me a whiskey. Her hands were shaking too. What do you want to do? I don't know. Rachel, I gave up everything. I watched friends die in Afghanistan. I came back with PTSD so bad I couldn't sleep for 2 years. All because I thought I was doing the right thing, helping my family. They lied to you, Ethan, for 10 years. I pulled up another photo. This one made my stomach turn. A sticky note in Mom's handwriting, attached to the MIT envelope. Don't open. Already told him no. He'll understand eventually. It's better this way. Better for who? My phone buzzed. Dad calling for the 15th time. I declined it. Then Tyler's name flashed on the screen. Against my better judgment, I answered. Ethan, please, just let me explain. Explain what? I cut him off. Explain how you drove a BMW bought with my college fund. Explain how you lived in a luxury apartment while I shared a barracks with 20 other guys. Explain what, Tyler? Silence. Did you know? I asked. When Dad paid for your apartment, your car, your failed businesses, did you know that was my money? More silence. Then, quietly, yes. The admission hit me like a physical blow. Since when? Sophomore year. I found the bank statements, asked Dad about it. He said you were better suited for military life anyway. That college would have been wasted on you. I hung up. I couldn't hear any more. Rachel was watching me carefully. You okay? No, I wasn't, but I will be. I spent the next 3 hours going through every document. There was a pattern. Every time Tyler needed something, money moved from my account. Every time he failed, more money disappeared. 3 businesses, all spectacular failures. A photography studio that lasted 6 months. A tech startup that never launched. A restaurant investment that went bankrupt in a year. My future, pissed away on Tyler's delusions of entrepreneurship. But then Rachel found something. She'd been searching through MIT's website. Ethan, look at this. It was a veteran reinstatement program for students who'd received admission but couldn't attend due to military service. MIT offered a 10-year window to reapply with full consideration of their original scholarship offer. I checked the date on my letter, April 15, 2015. Today was September 3, 2025. I was still in the window. Barely. You could still go, Rachel said softly. You could get it all back. I stared at the screen. MIT, Aerospace Engineering. It had been my dream since I was 12 years old, since Dad took me to the Air and Space Museum, and I stood beneath the Apollo capsule and decided I wanted to touch the stars. Dad. The same man who'd hidden my future in a box in his office. I'm doing it, I said. I'm applying, and I'm not telling them until it's done. Rachel smiled. That's my cousin. But Ethan, when you do tell them, yeah? Make sure there are witnesses. Document everything. Your parents are going to try to rewrite history. Don't let them. I drove home that night to my crappy studio apartment, the one I could barely afford on my construction wages. Pulled out my laptop, started working on my MIT application. At 2 a.m., I got an email. Tyler. I know you hate me. I hate me too. But I need you to know something. I begged them to tell you the truth. 3 years ago, when my second business failed, I told Dad to stop, to come clean. He refused. Mom backed him up, said you'd gotten over it, that you'd made a life for yourself. I'm sorry, Ethan. I'm so fucking sorry. I read it twice. Then I deleted it. Sorry doesn't give me back 10 years. Could you ever forgive a betrayal this deep? Or is some trust broken beyond repair? Let me know what you think. The MIT application took me 3 weeks to complete. 3 weeks of staying up until 3 a.m., writing essays about my military service, my aspirations, why I deserved a second chance at the life I should have had. I didn't tell anyone except Rachel. Not my parents. Definitely not Tyler. In the meantime, I did something else. I started digging deeper. Rachel helped me file a request for all financial documents related to my college fund. Technically, since my name was on the account until I turned 18, I had a legal right to the records. Dad's bank tried to stonewall me, but Rachel knows people. We got everything. The full picture was worse than I'd imagined. The college fund wasn't just from my parents' savings. My grandfather had set it up when I was born. He died when I was 15. Lung cancer. Quick and brutal. I remember him telling me at the hospital, weeks before he passed, "You're going to do great things, Ethan. Your education fund will make sure of it." He'd contributed $120,000 of that $180,000, my dead grandfather's money, spent on Tyler's third failed restaurant investment. I threw up when I read that. Actually got sick right there in Rachel's office. "Ethan, sit down," Rachel said, guiding me to a chair. "Breathe." He trusted them. My voice came out strangled. Grandpa trusted them to use that money for me. I know. Tyler bought a fucking BMW with my dead grandfather's money. Rachel didn't say anything. What could she say? I went home and did something I'm not proud of. I created a folder on my laptop, labeled it Evidence, started organizing everything systematically: bank statements, emails, the scholarship letters, photos of Tyler's social media from college, pictures of his apartment, his car, his expensive dinners at Boston restaurants, all time-stamped, all cataloged. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it yet, but I was going to be ready. Then, 2 weeks after the party, Mom showed up at my apartment. I almost didn't let her in, but curiosity won out. I needed to hear what possible explanation she could offer. She looked smaller than I remembered. Tired. She'd aged a decade in 2 weeks. "Ethan, please, just hear me out." I stayed standing, didn't offer her a seat. "We did what we thought was best," she started. "For who?" "For you. For the family." She twisted her hands together. "You don't understand the pressure we were under. Your father had just lost his job. We had Tyler's future to think about." "My future," I interrupted. "You mean my future, the one Grandpa paid for?" Her face crumpled. "It was never meant to go this way. We thought you'd thrive in the military. You were always so strong, so capable. Tyler needed more support, more guidance. Tyler needed a backbone." The words came out harder than I intended. "You enabled him. You stole from me to fund his failures. 3 businesses, Mom. 3. All of them crashed and burned, and you just kept throwing my money at them. He's your brother. He's a 30-year-old child who's never faced real consequences because you protected him from every hard truth, including the truth about what you did to me." Mom started crying. Real tears, not the manipulative kind. But I felt nothing. That scared me a little. The emptiness where my anger should have been. "Did you ever think about telling me?" I asked. "In 10 years, did it ever cross your mind to come clean?" She didn't answer. "Get out. Ethan, get out of my apartment, now." She left. I locked the door behind her and sat on my couch for an hour, staring at nothing. That night, I got the email from MIT. My hands shook as I opened it. Rachel had warned me it might take months to hear back, but here it was, 3 weeks after I submitted. "Dear Mr. Cooper, we are pleased to inform you that your application for veteran reinstatement has been approved. Your original scholarship offer of full tuition plus a $40,000 annual stipend has been reinstated. We would be honored to welcome you to MIT's class of 2026. I read it 3 times. Then I called Rachel. "I got in," she screamed. Actually screamed. "Ethan, oh my God." Full ride, just like before. They even adjusted the stipend for inflation. It's $48,000 now. "You did it. You actually did it." I should have been celebrating, jumping around my apartment, calling friends. But all I felt was this cold, hard clarity. I'd won. I'd reclaimed my future. But the question remained, what do I do about them? That weekend, I made a decision. I posted the MIT letter on Facebook. Then I posted 3 of the original scholarship letters from 2015. Then I posted the bank statements, Tyler's name carefully highlighted on every withdrawal. I wrote one sentence. 10 years ago, my parents told me we couldn't afford college. Here's what they hid from me. I tagged Mom, Dad, and Tyler. Then I went for a run and turned off my phone. When I came back 2 hours later, my post had 3,000 shares. It was on Reddit. Someone had picked it up on Twitter. There were news outlets asking to interview me. I had 247 text messages, 52 voicemails, and one from Tyler that made my blood run cold. "Ethan, I'm at Mass General Hospital. I need you." Is revenge ever justified, or does it make you just as bad as the people who wronged you? Tell me what you think in the comments. I made it to Mass General in 40 minutes, broke every speed limit between my apartment and Boston. Tyler was in the psychiatric ward. Suicide attempt. Pills. His roommate found him in time. He looked like death. Pale, hollow-eyed, hooked up to monitors. For a second, seeing him like that, I felt like we were kids again. Like I was 12 and he was 9, and I'd just pulled him out of the pool when he jumped into the deep end before he could swim properly. That protective instinct, it kicked in hard, even though I hated myself for it. "You came," he whispered. I sat down in the chair next to his bed. Didn't say anything, didn't know what to say. "I saw your post," Tyler continued. His voice was raw. "I deserve it. I deserve all of it. But Ethan, I couldn't live with it anymore. The guilt. Every time I looked at you, I saw what I'd taken from you. So your solution was to take the easy way out? He flinched. It wasn't easy. Nothing about this has been easy. A nurse came in, checked his vitals, left. We sat in silence. I tried to tell them, Tyler said finally. 3 years ago, after my second business failed, I found Dad in his office, and I told him we had to come clean, that you deserved to know the truth. What did he say? He said you'd made your choice, that you were happy, that telling you would only cause pain for everyone. Tyler's laugh was bitter. He was right about the pain part. I looked at my brother, really looked at him. He'd lost weight, dark circles under his eyes. This wasn't new. This had been eating at him for years. I tried to save money for you, he said. Every freelance job I did, every dollar I made that wasn't from them, I put it aside. It's not much, 30,000. I know it doesn't come close to what they took, but it's yours. It's the only clean money I have. Tyler, I never wanted their dirty money, Ethan. I wanted my brother back, but I was too much of a coward to stand up to them. And now, he gestured weakly at the hospital room. Now I've lost everything anyway. The machine monitoring his heart beeped steadily. I watched the line spike and fall, spike and fall. Why didn't you tell me yourself? I asked. You could have called me any time, sent me the letters. Why wait? Because I was ashamed. His voice broke. Because I knew once you found out, you'd look at me exactly the way you're looking at me now, like I'm a stranger, like you don't know me. I don't know you. The brother I knew wouldn't have let this happen. You're right. He wouldn't have. Tyler closed his eyes. I'm sorry. I know it's not enough. I know sorry doesn't give you back those 10 years. But I am. I'm so fucking sorry. A doctor came in, said Tyler needed rest, that I should come back tomorrow. I stood up to leave. Ethan? Tyler's voice was small. Can I ask you something? What? When you start at MIT, if I get better, do you think we could ever… He couldn't finish the question. I looked at my little brother, broken in a hospital bed, paying the price for our parents' sins and his own cowardice. I don't know, I said honestly. I really don't know. I left the hospital and sat in my car for an hour. My phone kept buzzing. The story had gone national. CNN wanted an interview. So did Good Morning America. My Facebook post had 500,000 shares, but all I could think about was Tyler's face, the guilt, the desperation. Rachel called. Ethan, where are you? The media's going crazy. This is huge. You're… Tyler tried to kill himself. Silence. He left a note, I continued. My voice sounded flat even to my own ears. Said he begged them to tell me the truth years ago, that the guilt was killing him. Jesus, Ethan, I'm sorry. He saved $30,000. Says it's for me. Clean money. Not from them. What are you going to do? I watched people walk in and out of the hospital. Families reuniting. Others getting the worst news of their lives. All of us just trying to survive our own catastrophes. I don't know. Part of me wants to forgive him. He's my brother. He tried to do the right thing, even if he failed. But another part… I gripped the steering wheel. Another part of me wants to watch this family burn. Those aren't mutually exclusive, Rachel said quietly. You can forgive Tyler and still hold your parents accountable. She was right, but it didn't make the choice any easier. I drove to my parents' house. They needed to see what their lies had cost. Dad answered the door. He looked old. Actually old, in a way I'd never noticed before. Tyler's in the hospital, I said without preamble. Psychiatric ward. Suicide attempt. Because of you. Dad's face went white. What? He tried to tell you 3 years ago to come clean. You refused, said I'd gotten over it. Well, I didn't get over it, and neither did he. He's been carrying your guilt along with his own, and it almost killed him. Ethan, you never meant to get caught. That's what you never meant. I pulled out my phone. I'm going to MIT in January. Full scholarship. I reclaimed the future you stole. But Tyler? He paid the price for your cowardice. Both of us did. Mom appeared behind Dad. She'd been crying for days. I could tell. Is he? She couldn't finish. He'll live, physically. Whether he ever recovers from what you did to him, to us, that's on you to figure out. I turned to leave. Ethan, please, Dad said. We're still your family. I looked back at them, standing in the doorway of the house I'd grown up in. The house full of lies. No, I said. You're the people who raised me. That's not the same thing as family. I went home, lay in bed, stared at the ceiling. Tomorrow I'd decide whether to forgive Tyler, whether to accept his $30,000, whether to let my parents back into my life or cut them off forever. But tonight, I just needed to feel nothing for a while. Can a family survive betrayal this deep, or are some breaks permanent? Share your thoughts below. Tyler spent 2 weeks in the psychiatric ward. I visited him 4 times. Each visit got a little easier, the conversations a little more real. On the last visit before his release, he handed me an envelope. The money, he said, $30,000. It's not enough, but it's yours. I took it, not because I needed it. MIT's stipend would cover my expenses, but because Tyler needed to give it, needed to make some kind of restitution, however small. Thank you, I said. He looked surprised. You're taking it? Yeah, but not for living expenses, for therapy, for both of us. Both of us? We're both fucked up from this, Tyler. You tried to kill yourself. I can't sleep at night without seeing your face in that hospital bed. We need help. Something shifted in his expression. Relief, maybe. Okay, yeah, okay. I started MIT in January 2026. The campus felt like landing on another planet. At 28, I was older than most of my classmates, but the veteran community welcomed me. Guys who got it, who understood what it meant to have your life delayed, rerouted, rebuilt. My parents tried reaching out. Cards, emails. Mom showed up at my apartment twice. I didn't answer the door. The extended family split. Dad's brother, Uncle Mark, called me vindictive, said I'd destroyed the family over money. Aunt Sarah, Mom's sister, sent me a text. Your grandfather would be proud of you. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for telling the truth. The truth. That's all I'd done. Put the truth out there and let the chips fall. They fell hard. Dad retired into isolation. The party that was supposed to celebrate his career became the day everyone learned what kind of man he really was. His golf buddies stopped calling. His reputation in their small town evaporated overnight. Mom had to quit her book club. The whispers followed her everywhere. I should have felt satisfaction, victory, but mostly I felt tired. Tyler and I started therapy. Separately at first, then joint sessions once a month. It was brutal, digging through years of resentment, guilt, enabling, betrayal. But slowly, painfully slowly, we started rebuilding something, not the relationship we'd had before. That was dead and buried. But something new, something honest. 6 months into MIT, Tyler showed up at my dorm unannounced. I got a job, he said. Real job. Marketing firm in Cambridge. Entry level. I'm starting from scratch. That's great, man. I'm also starting my own thing on the side. Not a business, a non-profit. For veterans who got screwed out of educational opportunities, help them navigate the system, find reinstated scholarships, that kind of thing. I stared at him. Seriously? I can't fix what I did to you. But maybe I can help other people avoid similar situations, pay it forward, or pay it back. I don't know. He shifted uncomfortably. I'd like your help, if you're willing. You know this system now. You could advise. It wasn't redemption, not fully, but it was a start. Yeah, I said. I'm in. The nonprofit launched 8 months later. We called it Second Chance Scholars. Tyler ran operations. I consulted on veteran reinstatement programs and helped applicants with their essays. It wasn't huge. Maybe 30 veterans helped in the first year, but it was real. Tyler was different now, humbler. He'd stopped chasing his dreams of being an entrepreneur mogul and started just living, working a normal job, building something meaningful instead of profitable. We'd never be as close as we were before. That innocence was gone. But we were brothers again, changed, damaged, but present. 2 years after I walked out of Dad's retirement party, I graduated MIT with honors. Top of my aerospace engineering class. Job offers from SpaceX, Boeing, NASA. Tyler was there. Rachel was there. Uncle Mark wasn't. Aunt Sarah brought half the extended family who'd taken my side. Mom and Dad sent a card. I found it on my desk after graduation. Simple, white envelope. My name in Mom's handwriting. I didn't open it. Just set it aside. Maybe someday I would. Maybe someday I'd be ready to hear what they had to say. But not today. Not this year. Maybe not ever. Some people earn forgiveness through their actions. Tyler had. He'd faced his guilt, nearly died from it, then rebuilt himself into someone better. Mom and Dad. They'd sent thoughts and prayers and expected that to be enough. They'd never truly apologized, never tried to make real amends, just waited for time to heal what they'd broken. Time doesn't work that way. I'm 29 now, working for a private aerospace company designing satellite systems. Tyler's my business partner on Second Chance Scholars. We meet for dinner twice a month, talk about real things, our lives, our struggles, our therapy breakthroughs and setbacks. The nonprofit is helping veterans across the country. Last count, 127 people helped, 42 reinstated scholarships, 85 people connected with alternative educational paths they didn't know existed. My grandfather's money didn't go to my education like he intended. But in a weird way, his legacy is still helping people get educated. Just not the way anyone expected. I think about my parents sometimes, wonder if they've changed, if they understand what they did, if they lie awake at night replaying their choices. I don't hate them anymore. Hate requires too much energy, and I need all of mine for building my future, the one I should have had 10 years ago. But I don't forgive them either. Not yet. Maybe not ever. The thing is, some betrayals are too big for words, too deep for apologies. They fundamentally change who you are, and no amount of "I'm sorry" can undo that. Tyler gets it now. He paid his debt, not in money, but in transformation. He became someone worthy of forgiveness. Mom and Dad, they're still waiting for me to get over it, still hoping time will erase what they did. It won't. But I'm okay with that. Because I've learned something important. You don't need your whole family to move forward. You just need the people who are willing to grow with you. Tyler's willing. My parents aren't. So Tyler's in my life. And they're not. Sometimes that makes me sad. But mostly I'm just grateful I found my way back to the stars. Here's my question for you. Do all betrayals deserve forgiveness, or do some earn permanent distance? Have you ever had to choose between family and your own peace? Drop your story in the comments. I read every one, and your experiences might help someone else going through something similar. And if this story resonated with you, share it. Someone in your life might need to hear it.